Hello Scorpio friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Scorpio December 2023 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. This is for you if Scorpio is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Scorpio placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. If you're a very late degree Scorpio friend, so birthdays around November 15th through the rest of the sign, or Scorpio placements 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Sagittarius report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. If you're familiar with my work, then you know I have been alternating months where I show the chart on the screen and then show a slideshow on the alternating month. But I'm going to try something new this month. I'm going to show you the chart that I'm working from right now. So those of you who are inclined, you can just take a screenshot or take a picture with another device and you can have it to refer to, and I'll point out some things as we go along. And for the rest of you who don't want to stare at the chart, then everyone will just have a slideshow. Okay, so we're going to try this. We'll see how it works. I'm calling the theme of this report 2023 Wrap-Up and 2024 Sneak Peek. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about many different layers of the energetics of the astrology of December to understand this time and understand how to make the most of it. And also then, those are shorter term transits. And then we're going to talk about longer term transits, ones that have been in effect for 2023 and are also going to be in effect in 2024 and in some cases beyond, so that you can get a good picture of the outer planet stories, the ones further from us, and the themes that are definitely at play, but might not be as noticeable as, the short-term energies that we talk about each month. So we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about some things that are general experiences that every zodiac sign will experience, but are just as important for you to know. And then we're also going to talk about some very Scorpio-specific things, a lot of Scorpio-specific things. So all of that will be woven together to create, hopefully, a guide that will help you to make the most of this time. The first thing that I'm excited to share is that for the first time in many months, we have more great aspects compared to nuisance ones. So you will feel that. Of course, we always have road bumps, things to deal with, ways that the stars are not getting along. You'll feel that. But compared to recent months, there are actually more ways the planets are getting along. Okay, so that's something to celebrate. The next thing, and this is a very big deal for Scorpio people, we're exiting eclipse season. From the end of 2021 until now, you've been going through a Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle that has been targeting you, and your life has transformed in magical ways, sometimes by way of grief and terrible, difficult things. So it's been very heavy. It's been very difficult. The cycle has been 2 years, but there are hot spots within those 2 years every 6 months when the eclipses happen, and the 4 to 6 weeks before the eclipses bring more of these things from the unconscious realm into your day-to-day life. Okay, so from the end of August until into December is eclipse season, with September, October, and November being the strongest time. So I'm sure many of you have seen very monumental things occur, big endings, big beginnings. And one of the things to celebrate now is that we're ending the eclipse season. So even if there were positive things that happened, sometimes stress comes from positive changes because you're cracking out of an old matrix and you're stepping into a new one. So many of you are stepping into a completely new reality, and it's been very heavy. Okay, so we do have some continuing Scorpio energy this month, as Venus will go through the whole sign of Scorpio in December. So you will get kisses from the love, beauty, self-esteem sign all month. So that's something to celebrate. But in general, Sagittarius energies are taking center stage. And I think that even though they don't speak your language as much as your own sign and element do, I think it will be a welcome reprieve. I think it will be a break and will majorly lighten the mood. Okay, so we've been having this Aries Libra eclipse storyline of me versus we, the Taurus Scorpio storyline of my stuff versus our stuff. And if you want to learn more about that, listen to my September, October, November reports, because I go into lots of details about that, which we're not going to discuss here. What we need to know here is that we're at the tail end and things are going to start lightening, and the new normal from the changes that happened are going to be very well instituted at this time. Now, I always post these early because I want you to understand, as the tides shift, as I like to call it, tides of retrograde mean when planets are moving backwards which really means they look like they're going backwards in their orbit from our perspective on the Earth. They're not really. But there are changes in the tides, and that changes the energies, which change how we can jive with the energies, okay? So if you're listening to this early, October 7th through November 25th is our last open period for the whole of 2023, free from personal planet retrogrades and their shadow periods, which means that October and November, fantastic time. New things, making decisions from the eclipse news that has come, big purchases, big sales, big commitments. If you have to make a choice to end something, you'll have more clarity around it now. If you have to make a choice to launch something, or if you have something big you're waiting to show to the world, this period of time is magnificent. Moves, big purchases, investments, weddings, parties, events, travel. There's all more ease and clarity and planning at this time. But as we sink into Mercury retrograde again, okay, so November 25th, we start the shadow period. December 12th, we go into actual retrograde, and that goes until January 1st of 2024, with the post-transit shadow period stretching until January 21st. So we're now diving deep into inward and backward energies, which means the tides will start coming in. Okay, so the difference between October and November is that the tides were going out. You can put your message in a bottle, throw it out, and it will go far out to sea, or you can put your boat afloat to get off your deserted island, and the tides will take you out. Once we're getting into December here, if you try to paddle your boat, you're going to be going against the tide. If you try to throw your message in a bottle out at this time, it's going to come back to you. So unless you're sending the message to yourself, this is not a time to try to put anything out, because it's not going to go as far and wide as you would like it. Now, that being said, if an opportunity comes to you, you can still say yes to it. But this is a time to not try to conjure or force or make something happen. This is a time where you've woven your web. October and November are good new web weaving times. And then December is the time to sit back and catch what comes into your web, rather than trying to conjure and go, add to your ground of webs. But you can repair the webs you already have, and it does lend itself to going back over things that already were in process, or finishing things or wrapping them up. This is very much a wrap-up type of energy, so the fact that it's also the end of the year is a coincidence, but retrograde energy does tend to help you clear things off your desk, clear things out of your house, and just dot your I's and cross your T's, basically. And some Capricorn energy will also come in to help this Sagittarius crazy party to ground a little bit. All right, so let's look at some of what this Sagittarius energy is going to bring. If you're looking at the chart, you can look at the basically 8 o'clock position, between the 7 and 8 position, and you'll see a bunch of planets with an arrow with a cross in it. That's the Sagittarius symbol. You'll see a question mark. That's Ceres. You'll see Mars, and then you'll see a circle with the sun, or with a dot. That's the sun. What you may also see is something that looks like it has horns. That's over there in a different sign that's in Capricorn, but Mercury is going to go into retrograde and go back into Sagittarius. So that will be 4 planets that we have dancing through your house of finances. So money, expenditures, self-esteem about money, money psychology, income, savings, all of those topics are going to come up. And it may be a time of reckoning if you've overspent. It may be a time of celebration if you've saved for this time. But there's a lot of focus on your financial sector at this, at this time. And some things from the past may be coming to you financially. Something that somebody gave you, something that you worked for, something that you've been manifesting could roll in on the tides. And that does happen as the tides roll in. Is something you've been working on can come back to you in the form that you've been hoping. So you may see some major manifestations coming, partly because of the Scorpio eclipse that's still lingering, Taurus Scorpio eclipses, and partly because of these energies focused on your finances. Having Venus and Pallas Athena, so if you're looking at the chart, look at the 9 o'clock position, you'll see the typical Venus sign there. It's in Libra at the start of the month, but very quickly it goes into Scorpio. And then Pallas Athena, our strategizer, our goddess of wisdom and war. But she is a fierce fighter, but she's more of a mental fighter, a strategizer. And she is going to be going through your house of your physical body, of your image. So you might be strategizing how you're going to redo your image and how you want people to know you. So this is a very big time of redefinition with this Scorpio eclipse that's closing out. And having Venus and Pallas there might make you more receptive to people doing what you want them to do. So you might be more magnetic. Scorpios tend to have quite a bit of magnetism already, but it will be kind of off the charts at this time. So if you're wanting to have help with something, if you're wanting something to happen, people may be more receptive to your ideas from this transit. Okay, so in general, Sagittarius will bring this much needed lightening of the heaviness of this prolonged Scorpio energy. It's going to be focusing on breadth rather than depth. Okay, so putting your fingers in a lot of pudding pies, diverse experience, fun, optimism, play. And so you might be really preparing to let loose quite a bit based on everything you've just gone through, and it could be a great time for that. It's not going to be super easy to make set plans. Remember, everything this month you'll want to be made in pencil instead of pen because of that Mercury retrograde season. And if you can get your shopping done by Black Friday, just basically appointments, dentist things, any kind of appointments that you don't want to have to be rescheduled, you may be better off doing them before December if possible. It's a better time for diagnostics. It's a better time for things you need clarity about regarding health or getting information from people, so that you can leave December just more of a free flow and try to not make too many commitments about what you're going to do when with people, because then when you have to break it, if circumstances change, it will be less stressful for you. And that's part of my goal for doing these reports for you, is helping you understand these energies ahead of time so that it can be much smoother because you know it beforehand. Same goes for expectations of other people. You may get wound up about expecting people to do something or expecting them to commit to certain plans or things this month. And if you do that, you're very likely to be more frustrated than you need to be, because circumstances out of your control, possibly out of their control, may cause things to be different. So the more flexible and light you can let things be, the more fun and more ease you'll have this month. So we've got the Sun, Mercury, and Mars moving through Sag. We've got Mercury going retrograde there. Capricorn energies are also going to help bring realism to the excessive Sag party and help you do some business stuff. If you have to work that in, wrapping up, 2023 financially, getting ready for taxes, those kind of things, you'll have some good energy with the time that Mercury's in Capricorn to do that. And of course, when things are in earth signs, they make a nice angle for you. So they could hold some of the flow of your water. If you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling, any intense emotion, you may be able to channel that either into the fun Sag energies or into the getting some work done Capricorn energies. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of dates of important notes. Now, if you are a person that loves knowing dates and aspects ahead of time, then go to anniehelpsyou.com. You can find this link in the notes underneath the video or podcast. I'll give it to you again later, or you can jot it down. AnnieHelpsYou.com, put your name and your email address in. That will get you into my free VIP community, where you will get my write-up of the month a month early, and access to all the archives and special notifications. Like, for instance, I just sent out a notification to my crew saying, hey, we've now entered the golden period free from personal planet retrogrades, just in case you forgot. So courtesy reminders like that, and how you can make the most of the transits, plus astrology education newsletters. So if you like all that stuff, you'll want to go there. And the write-up that I do for each month ahead will give you sweet and salty dates, will give you the dates that I love and the ones to be awareful and careful of. So we're just going to go over 2, and you can find the rest there. December 12th, we've got the new moon at Sagittarius, 20 degrees. So besides all of that activity in your financial sector, you're also going to have a new moon there. December 26th, and of course the days around it. All of these dates are not just on the day. So the days are around the full moon on the 26th. It's right into many different holiday celebrations. So a family coming together, 5 degrees of Cancer could be a very monumental family experience for you. All Scorpios will be feeling extra blessings from this. This is a water full moon. This can also bring water where it's not supposed to be, through flooding or through water situations, or it can bring positive water, things that have been pending that you've always wanted from a family perspective. You could have a really full, vibrant, awesome, highly emotional in a good way, family, housing, real estate experience. And since this makes a nice angle for you, there's extra blessings for all Scorpios. And if you're close to 5 degrees, so basically all October born Scorpios and into the first maybe first day or so of November, but like the closer you are to around October 27th, the more you'll get a kiss from this full moon. But all of the October born will get extra blessings right there into the beginning of November. If you're not in that spectrum, don't worry, you're not being left out. There just may be more significance for those at this time. Something else noteworthy this month is that Jupiter is going direct. It went retrograde in September. So think back to September. Did certain things start going backwards that were going forwards? Were certain things heating up that then went dormant? Was inspiration more present and then it went in the backdrop? Did work start building and then you couldn't get to your creative endeavors? Something notable was going on around then, and now those tides are going to shift. So even though Mercury is going in retrograde, bringing some things inward and backward, this big gas giant is going direct and in some ways will trump that energy. So you will see certain things starting to move forward that will kind of feel synonymous in a lot of ways with New Year energy, because when we start a new year in a retrograde like we are, sometimes it's a little lazy of a new year. It's not feeling quite like a new year just yet. But because of the wrap up of the Scorpio Taurus eclipse cycle, a lot of karma being cleared in that cycle, and because of Jupiter going direct on December 31st, it may very well feel very new and clear, like a clean slate. Okay, so let's hit a couple of these outer planet transits that have been present for this year and will be your sneak peek into some themes that will continue in 2024. Pluto has been dancing along the line between the end of Capricorn and early Aquarius. For Scorpio people, this is putting a lot of energy into your fourth house that's going to be there for over 20 years. If you're an early Scorpio, you will be feeling this the most. October born, you've been getting the most intensity of the square that's coming from Pluto. You may have experienced death, loss, or figurative or literal in these recent, this recent year. And so, my condolences if something has happened. It's been very intense, and this is time for transformation within your family and your housing. Some of you may have had those things happen. Some of you may not have. You may have had just positive transformation in your family, cracking through to a different matrix. But definitely real estate, home, family of origin, family you've created is going to continue to be in the forefront with this Pluto transit this year and next year and beyond. We've had Saturn move into your fifth house of creative efforts, to your love, romance, children. So you may notice that there's some more discipline having to be added to those efforts. If you have creative things you want to pull through, you might not have as much time as you used to because you might be busy with these other things. And you may need a little bit more discipline in sitting down to bring your heart song out, basically, your magical heart song into creation. You might have to do a little bit more persistent focus and not be as in the flow with it. So if you're going to accomplish something creative from 2023 to 2026, you might have to do it with making yourself to do it, okay? So that's a very good lesson to know. That's been happening. It's going to happen in 2024 and it will happen beyond. Neptune has also been spiritualizing your approach towards creativity, towards love, romance, towards children. In some cases, it could act as a dissolver. Certain patterns may be dissolving away, and that's going to continue. Certain addictive patterns in yourself or others may also be in the forefront. Transiting North Node shows us our areas of highest expression in this lifetime. For everyone in the zodiac, North Node in Aries, which corresponds with the current eclipse cycle of Aries Libra, is basically wrapping up karma in the relationship sector and putting some coins into your own independence. So if you're looking at the chart, you can see the glyph over by just under the 3 o'clock position, if this were a clock. That looks like headphones. That's the transiting North Node in the sign of Aries. 180 degrees opposite that in Libra, where all healing karmic ties and karmic relations. That was the theme from the end of 2021 to the end of 2023, and we are continuing that theme over the next couple of years in different ways. Specifically for Scorpio, the transiting North Node is bringing attention to your health and to your daily experience, your surroundings, your work ethic, pets, what you do every day, and managing stress. And it's helping you clear karma in the areas of your fears of the 12th house over there. If you're looking at the chart, you can see it where there's the 12, you can see the little glyph that looks like a horseshoe transiting through your 12th house of fears, addictions, and also deep gold mines. Okay, so basically the place that's deep within you, a reservoir of richness that you may have to dig through some muck to get at. You're clearing up karma in the space of, those areas, fears, addictions, places where you have given your power away. And maybe you're going to make the choice to not do that anymore. As of May 2023 through May 2024, we've got Jupiter expanding your 7th house. If you're looking at the chart, you can see it looks like a fancy 4 over there in the 3 o'clock position in the 7th house. Houses in astrology are fields of experience that we have as humans. And the 7th house relates to our relationships. So Jupiter is expanding that. So you may be going to another level of relationship with the person or people you're with. You may be starting new relationships, and you may be increasing your contacts tremendously. So this year from May to May, you're going to be meeting a lot of people and expanding your workspace and your home, energy, and going to whole new levels. Uranus there has brought some instability into your relationship space. That's a longer term thing. Happened before 2023, will happen into 2024, and will still be there after. But it's also bringing eccentric, forward-thinking, futuristic-minded people into your life, okay? Uranus's other, lower end is unstable. Its higher end is eccentric and genius, okay? So you're going to find that you're surrounded by more people who have forward-thinking genius, and that those parts of you might be coming out more as well. Okay, so go to AnnieHelpsYou.com to get connected to my free VIP community. You can see my Secret Star portal, which is my exclusive content portal that has my written horoscopes, that has Jupiter in Taurus through the signs, that has Saturn in Pisces, that has do-it-yourself, learning your chart stuff, that has how to navigate tough astrological transits. You can see all of that at AnnieHelpsYou.com. If you want to learn astrology, that's a great way to do it. Also, you can go deeper by going into my courses. Astrology Basics and Beyond course, and you can learn how to earn money through your love of the stars with my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Certification course. So I can help you reach your dreams and goals with astrology. That is what I do. I've been an astrology teacher for 20 years, and I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. So I help you combine those efforts to bring your dreams to life there. So you can see all that at AnnieHelpsYou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month and year, and I'll see you next month and year. Bye.